Alright, here we are in the 1940s. Disney released Fantasia and Pinocchio. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in 1941. I'm not doing this accent. I'm having too much fun. It's too much fun. So Disney released Fantasia and Pinocchio in the early 1940s. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in 1941. Wonder Woman and Captain America were also first published. Bebop and jazz were starting to gain popularity. And film noir was the popular experimental film genre at the time. And the US military banned homosexuals from serving in World War II. But that really didn't stop us from serving in the military anyways, right? You know, gay people were forced to either lie about their sexuality and identity, or, you know, they would be sent home and branded as sex perverts, right? And this was real. Clearly, the general American public were not fond of homosexuals. And, you know, many people and filmmakers and queer filmmakers were just like, I've had it. Who cares, right? And one of those people were Kenneth Anger. And Kenneth Anger released his homoerotic experimental film in 1947 called Fireworks. And Fireworks was a landmark not only in films in the 1940s, but in queer and avant-garde filmmaking. It is unapologetically gay. It has razor-sharp editing and continuity for film on reel, which was crazy impressive at the time. Kenneth Anger has also described Fireworks to be a dream within a dream, as most avant-garde film is, but I do think that this has to do more so with, you know, a DL man's first time with another man, and this being shown in a very artistic way. And in 1957, Kenneth Anger was arrested for obscenity charges because of this film, and for another film eventually later on, right? Eventually, the case wound up in the California Supreme Court. The court ruled that homosexuality was a valid subject of artistic expression and that overt reference to it could not be considered obscenity. This ruling became a landmark decision for freedom of speech in the United States, by the way, right? And that goes to show that you can't silence the voices of queer people no matter what. Even with Hays Code being enforced in Hollywood, queer people still felt the need and, you know, the urge to fight for their stories to be told no matter what and however and whatever type of artistic light or expression, really. So then as the 1950s come rolling around and it comes, you know, for queer representation, for the big picture, right? For film, you know, movie studios, right? You know, Hays Code was still being enforced, but, you know, films that have come out during that era are completely queer-coded, like Rebel Without a Cause. And if you want to know how Rebel Without a Cause is completely queer-coded, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, right? Like, follow, subscribe, all the other stuff. And I will see you next week when I talk about queer films of the 1950s.